So, Hare Krishna, this is Rajesh Kadam, otherwise also known as Ramsharan Das, and I'm working in the Department of Spiritual Care of the Bhaktivedanta Hospital. I lead this department, and all the consultants, including the psychiatrists, they send their patients to our department to especially receive this spiritual care, the counseling, family wellness, relationship coaching, all these things are offered in our department. And today, especially this topic, which really excites me, the topic given to me by Sukanti Radha Mataji, who is my really wonderful friend and well-wisher. Always, we both really want to make this wonderful mission of, this family wellness as well as spiritual care and end-of-life care to reach to people so that they can also serve all the people in the society. So today's topic is fostering spiritual harmony at home, addressing challenging behaviors for a healthy, balanced family life. So in my 21 years of counseling, I've seen that there are there are three categories of people. The newlyweds, between 0 to 2 years of marriage, they seek, privacy, they seek attention, they seek intimacy, romance. And then there is the second group, the little senior wed, between 3 and 9 years. So they seek a lot of, of course, the first four things are there. Intimacy is there, romance is there, but then also they have commitments, they have responsibilities. They seek for originality, they want perfection also, because small things in daily life, it can get on nerves of people. In the first 2 years, I'll bring the moon for you, my dear darling, but then can you please dry the clothes in the washing machine? So such issues, it becomes more important. And then there are 10 years and above, people who have married, seasoned couples. So they seek peace, they seek acceptance, they want to adjust and, prove their wonderful relationships. So these various groups are there, and there are various problems that we all go through. So what are the problems of family lives? Like, one person tolerating and there is exploitation, or, no support from the family members, or there are no many members to support, or, financial constraints, or children's education, whether it is, especially in India, unaffordable or unmanageable, or inability to handle difficult people in family. So that is a issue sometimes, or most of the times. Unjustified incessant screen exposure, especially with children. Then lack of quality time amongst family members. Then, of course, abuse, neglect of children, experiencing wrong behaviors in the babysittings, or addictions. Now it is becoming rampant in Mumbai. Earlier it was in Delhi and Goa, and now it is growing in Mumbai also. Then wrong association of children, focusing issues of or even focusing in studies by children. That is a problem. Extramarital affairs, sibling rivalries. So many problems, we come about. Like, I'm just trying to recollect what all cases are there that come to me, balancing between work and parenting, or, arguments, domestic violence. So all these things, or sometimes even just everything's so fine, but then major sickness comes in, into play. One of the member is sick and the others are helpless. Or respect issues with elders, or sending old to the old asylums, or sometimes just trivial like hygiene and tidiness issues. So there are so many problems actually, But here is the big revelation, that these are all surface level problems. There are basically two core problems. The main problem is, expectations are not met. And the second is, there is no appreciation for what you do. So, we have to understand what actually builds up into a meaningful relationship, and to live by that relationship every day. So for that, I find myself speaking about, basically the three elements of meaningful relationship. So the first one is, understanding the partner very nicely, and trying to understand the principles that actually give a holistic, successful family life. So when we talk about spirituality, fostering spiritual, so spirituality has got, as I have seen over the years, there are 11 parameters. The first one is Siddhanta. I'm sure most of us are devotees who are watching this video. Therefore, I'm including this 5 minutes thing. Is that the first thing is the Siddhanta, the ideology with which the family is actually, actions speak louder than words. So in action, what Siddhanta the family is trying to, exhibit. So every family is living with some Siddhanta. And then how much faith is there in that Siddhanta? That is the second, Shraddha. And then there is a third S, that what kind of association they are taking to develop that Shraddha. That is the Sangha. That is the third S, we can say. And then once the Sangha is there, then the fourth one, the most important, is the Sadhana, the fourth S. And then the fifth S is, once you do sadhana, you develop qualities, and that is Sadgun. And how are the qualities, the Sadgun, seen in people? It is seen by their acharan, by their, the way they behave. So Sadachar, that is the next S. And when there are many Sadachari people, they all come together and form Sanskriti, a culture, So when there is culture in the society, culture is actually the aesthetic vision of the society. So when you do certain things in a special way, then that Sanskriti is seen. Like today's Balram Jayanti, I was going to all the villages, and I was being welcomed by rangolis and, festoons, and there are banana tree barks and like that. So that is culture basically. And this Sanskriti, when there is Sanskriti, naturally there is Suvyavastha, that is right systems, with the right mood and, with precision. So this is very important. When there is Suvyavastha, suddenly you will find Samriddhi. So the prosperity doesn't mean just affluence or wealth, but prosperity, it's lab of sambandha, means relationships, rich relationships. In fact, relationships is the greatest wealth one can have. So Samriddhi, when there is Samriddhi, it's just like, when the bucket is filling with water, and once it is filled, it overflows. So when there is Samriddhi, naturally there will be Seva. Then people like to go out and serve people, like our Sukanti Mataji is doing all the while. So Seva, when that Seva happens, and then comes the 11th parameter to assess the Sabhyata, and that is Sharan. How much the person is surrendered to the process, to the Lord, to the devotees. So such a person is a holistically strong person. So when we say holistically strong person, he has to be, healthy on all the 5 layers of his existence. So he has got 5 dimensions. The first dimension is the physical dimension. That is the Annamay Kosh. So the physical dimension, the person has to be healthy. If he is not healthy, he cannot take care of the family. Then the second is the physiological dimension of that person, and that is the pranamay kosh. That means he must have skills, talent. If he has got skills and talents, then only he can support the family. He can make the family self-sufficient, and whatever is required for excitement, for adventure, and to fulfill that fulfill the challenges that the family meets. So physiologically, the family must be strong. So that person should be, the pranamay kosh also should be shuddha. Then comes the psychological aspect, the psychological dimension of a person. That means how much sensitive that person is. So if he is sensitive, then he can actually understand people. He can understand the thoughts, the feelings, the needs of people. He can understand the temperaments of the people, and accordingly deal with them, serve them in a nice way. Only when he can attain that maturity, then only he'll be able to serve people. So that is the third dimension. And then the fourth dimension is the conscientious level, the conscientious dimension, about discriminating into what is right and what is wrong, what is dharma, what is adharma. So that is also very, very important aspect. And then the last one is the anandamay kosh. So the fourth one was the vijnanmay kosh, and which speaks about growth and harmony and righteousness and justice. And the fifth one is the anandamay kosh, which speaks about gratefulness that a person should have. So if a person is grateful to his family, to his parents, to his children, to his wife, to even the society, so that gratefulness in a person, actually, that is the last. Gratefulness is the highest expression of love. So when a person develops gratefulness, he is a complete person. He becomes a complete person. So these five dimensions, when they are purified, a person becomes asset to the family. So such people, they actually can have a very strong family, and that family can be a very good asset to the society. So we find many of the ISKCON devotees, they are really good assets to the society. So coming back to the family, this family, if we have to see the overall aspects of the family, so that also can be seen through the filter of Panchakosh, which means the family, if we have to see the Annamay Kosh of the family, then what is the Annamay Kosh of the family? The Annamay Kosh of the family is, what is how much property the person had, how many family members are there in the family, how many old people are there in the family, how much land, what is the and what is the length and the breadth of the house, how many vehicles he have, how much bank balance he has, how much gold he has, what is the investment, how many trees are there in the property, how many fruit bearing trees are there in the property. So all these things, that forms the Annamay Kosh of the family. Nearness to the river, that means availability of water. So that is the Annamay Kosh, the basic resources that is required for the sustenance for the family, basically. Then what is the Pranamay Kosh of the family? If we have to know the Pranamay Kosh of the family, which means what are the energy levels? What is the vibrancy of this family? How is the relationship of the family members with each other? Or even how is the family dealing with others? What is that so relationship? And what is the education? How many people are educated in the family? How many people are skilled? How many people know cooking? How many people know driving? How many people know farming? How many people know plumbing, electrical, so all kinds of skills, basically. So all these things, if people they know, or sometimes like if mother goes to her Maika, to her father's place, everyone becomes paralyzed here. They have to depend on hotels. So is that the case? So how much talent each individual in the family they have? So that how many people know Sanskrit? How many people know classical dance, classical music? Do they entertain each other, or they have to depend on TV and Facebook and Instagram and all those things? Or do they really gel with each other, spend quality time with each other? So that is very important, the pranamay kosh of the family. Then comes the manomay kosh of the family. The manomay kosh is seen by how much they experience togetherness, at least 1 hour every day. That is very important. Is there any joint discussion about the books that are read, the movies that are watched, the events and the programs at the school or at the office? Papa, whatever happened, and is he sharing it with mama? And whatever we are doing, like children, whatever we are doing in the schools or colleges, are we sharing it in the family? How long does the effect of quarrels it lasts? Is it that I mean, by the end of the day, is it sorted, or there is katti for 10 days and they don't talk to each other? So that is a very, very important aspect. So that shows the monomai kosh of the family. Or whether the when the visitors come, are they appropriately introduced, and their special characteristics told in the family? So what qualities are valued in the family is very, very important. So when a call comes for a family member, is the message passed on? The communication is done, completed or not? Whether the family members know all the friends of the children, whether the children know all the family members of mama and papa. So all these things, how often do they go and visit others, you know, to their homes? So this is also very, very important. People knowing each other, understanding each other's temperament, and then they can also understand, how fortunate they are, or how much progress they need to do when they go and meet other families. They actually, and therefore it's such a wonderful, in Radha Gopinath temple, it's such a wonderful way of having congregational meetings, and there is wonderful counselor meetings, and we all after every 15 days or 1 month, we go to one person's home, and then we have that everywhere, of course, all over the world. We have this devotees meeting each other. So that actually improves the manomai kosh of the family. So how much I can feel free to express my feelings to my family, that is the strength of the manomai kosh. Can I just yell and be understood? Sometimes my child, when he, of course now he's grown up, but when he was a small child, he would come and he was like into a very he used to be sometimes. And then my wife would understand, yeah, yeah, isko bhook lagi hai. He is hungry. And once he has his food, and again the smile is there on his face. So all these things, can we understand each other's moods, each other's, like when the person is angry, irritations and disturbances? If we can understand, then the manomai kosh is very, very strong. Whether when the donations are given, everyone in the family knows about it. When how do you respond to a guest coming? Like in India, we say Atithi Devo Bhava. So is that followed? Or so all these things are very small, small things that I'm sharing with you, but this actually, tells us about the manomai kosh of the family. So whether when a family uh, visits others and they simply talk, you know, once in a fortnight maybe, but they just talk or they just play games and they spend time with each other. So all these things are small, small things. Then we come to Vijnanmay Kosh of the family. What is the Vijnanmay Kosh of the family? So Vijnanmay Kosh of the family is their budget. of the family, or everyone is a spendthrift. So, or is there joint discussions by all members, about upcoming events, and before purchasing any item, do they discuss with each other? Is it some excitement? Whether excitement is there? Then, is there a family policy of regular temple visits? Whether they go on yatra? So that also speaks about the Vijnanmay Kosh of the family. Whether the family members are interested in the growth of each and every family member. So that is also an important factor. Whether the family goes to their relatives' home, that I discussed, that also comes in Vijnanmay Kosh. Then, is there joint discussion about social issues? Is there joint discussion about national issues? Is there a joint discussion about environmental issues, political issues in the family? So that shows that, yeah, this family is open for many discussions, and that is how the family members grow, uh, from in all holistically, basically. So whether some family members feel free to come and have meals, others coming to over. So this also is again in Vijnanmay Kosh also. Whether the family members observe the 16 samskaras. So in our Bhaktivedanta Hospital, we have uh, all the 16 samskaras are observed. We perform the 16 samskara yajnas. We have got proper purohits. So that is done. In fact, you seldom find it in many temples also. But in Bhaktivedanta Hospital, we have made proper, attempt to develop this, and all our patients, they understand that we are having these 16 samskaras, and then they take up, they come to our hospital, and they also do these samskaras at their home. We go to their home and we perform these samskaras. Like there is Namakaran Samskar, Simantanayan Samskar, Soshanti home, and Vidyaramba Samskar, Upanayan Samskar. So there are so many samskars, 16 samskaras are there. Then Vivaha Samskar is one of them. And last is the Antyeshti, of course, end of life care. So Antyeshti is also there. So all these things, it comes in the Vijnanmay Kosh of the family. And then the Anandmay Kosh of the family. What is the Anandmay Kosh of the family? Contributions of the family for the society. What this family stands for. What is it offering to the society? What is it offering to the nation? What is it offering to the environment? So what does it stand for, basically? Does this family participate in social causes? Does every member vote in the elections? That is very, very important. That speaks about the Anandmay Kosh of the family. Whether they participate in the environmental well-being programs, whether they are participating in the preaching program. So all these things speak about the Anandmay Kosh of the family. So when a family is, so all these parameters I spoke, so that we can actually have an assessment. We can make an assessment of our family. In fact, we have got an assessment for the family wellness of all the families in our hospital. So families, they come and we send each and every person in different corners and make them fill forms. And through that, after that, we tell them their family wellness quotient. And to the surprise, they really want to develop. And then they are surprised that how, so wonderfully, all these things are noted by us, and how they can improve. They come for that counseling. So we have got these three things, three-part program. One is the assessment, family wellness assessment. Then second is they come for the workshops, and then we also give specialized personal counseling for a particular family member. So that is done since last many years now, and now people have started taking up with the assessment very seriously. So that is all about family wellness. I wanted to tell the various dimensions. I would like to have, if there are any questions, because it must be very late at your place also. So If there are any questions, you can ask. And I really like to have an interactive session rather than giving a lecture. So I thought I'll just speak introductory Panchakosh well-being of a family, and then we can have questions. Thank you very much.